Hey folks, Chris Rich, AZ Fly Shop, your community fly shop. Welcome back to the channel. You bet. Hey folks, in this video, we're going to be fishing a real small Arizona stream. This is a classic Arizona stream that we're going to be on today. We find a lot of these streams. They're overgrown. You're going to see when we get down there, a lot of vegetation have overgrown, not a lot of people back in here. I like to fish a sub 7 foot rod when I'm doing this. Today I've got a 3-weight, a Winston Pure 6 foot 6 inch. I like a 6 foot 6 inch rod. It makes the casting that much easier in some of these tight little streams. I'm going to give you a little review of what I think of the rod, how it fishes. I have fished it for a couple of days. It does a lot of stuff very fantastic. It throws really tight loops. For a 3-weight rod, it's a pretty fast action 3-weight rod. It's still got that real nice Winston feel to it. But it allows me to throw really tight loops. So if I've got a lot of overgrown trees, like a tree canopy, I can stay underneath that tree canopy and still be able to make a cast. I fished an indicator rig with it on a little bit bigger stream where I had to get down a little deeper. It throws that indicator rig. I've also thrown some weighted streamers. It throws the weighted streamers really well. Now it's not going to throw something that requires a 6-weight, but we're not going to be fishing for that anyhow. A lot of these fish we're catching are going to be in the 8 to 12 inch range. They're wild fish. Let's see how the Winston 3-weight Pure does. 6 foot 6 inch. To me, this is the ultimate creek rod, folks. One of the first things I like about this 6 foot 6 inch rod is you can see what type of stuff we're going to be walking through all day today. It's going to be real bushy, overgrown, and that rod that's a little bit shorter makes it way easier to walk through this type of vegetation. So big plus again on these Arizona small streams. Sub 7 foot rod. Again, I don't know of any of the premium rod manufacturers that make a sub 7 foot rod other than Winston. And man, Winston did a great job. First fish looks like a wild brown. I'm going to pick him up here in just a second. We'll get a closer look at him. Again, really small stream. You can see how tight this is in here. We weren't sure there was going to be fish. There are fish in a lot of these little streams. They look like they're too skinny to hold fish. Folks, they hold wild fish. Let's take a look at this fish. I'll wet my hand. That's it, folks. That's what we're after, those wild browns. A lot of this stuff we're in is just like this, folks. We're trying to make casts in between little bushes, little tiny pockets of water right here. The 6.5 foot Winston is really a fun little rod to fish this with. You can make a cast with 2 or 3 feet out of the end of the rod. So some of these are real short, small casts. Some of them are going to be longer casts where there's a little more opening. But there's fish in all these little creeks, folks. Most of these little spots that look like they should hold fish, we've caught little browns out of there. Smallest one probably 3 inches. But those little guys, they need love too, folks. Don't ignore the little guys. A couple of days I've had the Winston 3-weight 6 foot 6 inch Pure in my hand. I've been fishing these Arizona small streams. It's a dream to be out here. It handles a little tiny dry fly, bow and arrow fishing, or even a couple of feet out the end of the line. I can make a nice dark cast with that little tiny dry fly. Right now, a bit of a streamer. It's got a 3.5 millimeter tungsten bead on it. It's about a size 10, maybe a size 8, so it's got a little bit more to it. Fishing it like an absolute dream. Hooked up with a couple of smallmouth on it. The other thing is I noticed the roll casting ability of this little rod it's like a little catapult. Really fun to roll cast with this rod. All in all, I knew I was going to be impressed. I am impressed. The Winston 3-weight in the 6 foot 6 inch Pure is a bomb, folks. We've got them at the shop. Stop in if you want to cast one. The sub 7 foot rod is my favorite rod to be fishing on an Arizona stream. Very few of the higher end rod manufacturers make a sub 7 foot rod. Winston knocked it out of the park with this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the shop.